More NASCAR Cup Series stars are entering to run a Penny's Dirt Truck Series event, and it looks like Stewart Friesen is going to be making his NASCAR Cup Series debut at Bristol Dirt for Spire Motorsports. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. We got quite a few NASCAR stories to discuss here today on the channel. Let's go ahead and just jump straight to it. Let's start off all the sponsor announcements that have taken place over the last 24 hours. Let's start off with Ryan Preece's 2021 planner scheme that we will see this weekend at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Hopefully Ryan Preece is able to run the whole season, by the way. But yeah, this paint scheme I really like a lot. I've liked a lot of the JT Doherty paint schemes that we've seen so far this year, and this one is no exception. I really like the color contrast on the car. I think that this paint scheme is going to be really good on the racetrack, and hopefully it can give some luck to Ryan Preece this weekend. Hopefully he can have some good runs this weekend, and hope he's able to get a good points finish this weekend. The next paint scheme we're going to take a look at is Austin Hill's 2021 United Rentals throwback scheme to Mike Stefanik. United Rental schemes are always really cool. They haven't changed much this year, but I really like this one a lot, and I'm really glad that Austin Hill is throwing back to one of the greatest modified drivers of all time, Mike Stefanik, one of the greatest race car drivers of all time. I really like this paint scheme a lot, and it'll be a great addition to see out on the racetrack here at Darlington Motor Speedway. The next paint scheme we're going to take a look at is Christopher Bell's 2021 Series XM scheme that will be debuting, I think, this weekend at Atlanta Motor Speedway. This Series XM schemes, I'm usually not the biggest fan of the Series XM schemes, but I really like the Series XM scheme a lot. I think the black and the white and the blue contrast a lot really well together, and it looks really beautiful, and it's going to be a nice paint scheme to see out on the racetrack. I really like colors a lot, and I cannot wait to see it on the racetrack this weekend here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. The next paint scheme we're going to take a look at is Martin Truex Jr.'s 2021 Auto Owner scheme that we are going to see at the Bristol Dirt Race. It was announced this past weekend after the Cup Series race during the post race that Martin Truex Jr. was going to be running the Bristol Dirt Truck Series race in the 51 truck for Kyle Busch Motorsports, and it was expected that Auto Owners was going to be the major sponsor. The Auto Owners cars, man, look really good. They've always looked really good since Auto Owners has been working Martin Truex Jr. since his days at Furniture Row Racing. And this paint scheme looks really awesome as well. I love the blue. I love the white. I love all the colors on the race car. The light blue, man. Auto Owners cars are generally in the top 10 best paint schemes of the year, and this one might be up there as well because I really like this paint scheme a lot, and the colors look really awesome on this race car. And that is all that. And then finally, we're going to talk about the Overton sponsorship. Marcus Lemonis, man, is continuing to step it up to the plate, and he is sponsoring a lot of drivers this weekend here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Remember at Las Vegas, he sponsored a lot of trucks, about 10 trucks, as a matter of that, in the Camping World Bounty Challenge, where a lot of teams that are unsponsored were able to be sponsored that weekend by Marcus Lemonis. And this weekend, he'll be sponsoring with another company in his Overtons. The drivers that are going to be sponsored by him this weekend are going to be all three Niece Motorsports trucks, that being Ross Chastain, Carson Hocevar, Ryan Truex, and Brett Moffitt are all going to be sponsored by that this weekend. He's also going to be sponsoring Parker Kligerman this weekend. He'll be sponsoring two of the GMS trucks, being Zane Smith and Sheldon Creed this weekend. And I think they're also sponsoring another driver that we are going to be talking about really soon. I am very happy that Marcus Lemonis is continuing to sponsor race car drivers in the Truck Series and keep the Truck Series funded, because there hasn't really been any people with a title sponsor that have gone out there and tried to save any of the racing series, but it's really awesome that Marcus Lemonis is continuing to step it up to the plate and sponsoring the Truck Series. I'm very happy to see this, and I wonder who's going to win this one. I probably think it's going to be either Zane Smith or Sheldon Creed who's going to win the bounty. But yeah, I really am a huge fan of these paint schemes. You've been seeing these paint schemes across the board. I think my favorite paint scheme that has come out so far has to be either Zane Smith's or Sheldon Creed's. Even Parker Kligerman's looks really awesome as well. But yeah, I am a huge fan of these paint schemes, man. And I'm very happy that Marcus Lemonis is continuing to step up to the plate and sponsor race car drivers in 2020. And like I said, keeping the Truck Series funded for the foreseeable future. And now we're going to jump onto the next story of today's episode, as we got some more sponsorship announcements in regard to some races coming up here very soon. Actually, we got one more sponsor. Let's talk about Auto Trader, as they have signed a multi-year extension with Team Penske for, I think, the next 8 seasons, and they will be sponsoring Joey Logano and Brad Keselowski for 6 races this season. It is really awesome. Auto Trader has stepped up to play once again, and they are sponsoring Brad Keselowski. I think they've been sponsoring Brad Keselowski and Joey Logano since around 2017 or 2018. I think that was the year they started getting sponsored by Auto Trader. I think that is really awesome that they're stepping up to the plate and continuing to sponsor and keep Penske funding, even though Team Penske really has no issues of funding right now. It is really awesome. Auto Trader is looking to see there's something really good Brad Keselowski and Joey Logano. And great to see that Auto Trader is stepping it up to the plate and sponsoring these guys for the next 8 seasons. And let's jump into the race sponsorship announcements that have taken place over the last couple days. So let's start off with the Darlington May race. As the NASCAR Xfinity Series Darlington May race is going to be called the Steakhouse Elite 200. I like that name a lot. It's a really, really cool name, and great to see the Xfinity Series continues to get definitely some interesting title sponsors for sure. Great to see a Steakhouse Elite is stepping up to the plate and sponsoring the NASCAR Xfinity Series race in Darlington. And then the other race sponsor that was announced this past week or two ago, Busch ran a contest for $1, and you could enter in for a name that you wanted to be entered in. It had to be appropriate, I think, of course. But the final 4, I think it was for the Farmers 400. I can't remember the other 3, but there was another one called the Bushy McBush Race 400. And the winner of this race, I'm kidding it out, the title sponsor for the Kansas race on May 2nd for the Busch contest is going to be the Bushy McBush Face 400. I think it's either going to be Kevin Harvick or Kyle Busch who wins that. I really like that title a lot. It is a very, very clever title. I thought it was a joke. I was laughing when I saw that was the winner. I knew that was going to win. It was the most clever. I thought it was really, really funny. I think people are not going to take NASCAR seriously, and I imagine Mike Joy and the commentators, when they come back from like the break and stuff, they're going to be laughing, or even when they go to the start of the race, they're going to be laughing because it is arguably one of the funniest titles I've ever seen, but I really like it a lot. I like the cleverness of it. It is really, really cool. And I can't wait to see the race. I think the race will be good at Kansas regardless because it's going to be in May. And the racing in Kansas, except the fall 2020 race, would have been really, really good. So hopefully we'll see some good racing. But yeah, I thought that was really funny that the Bushy McBush race is going to be the title sponsor for that upcoming event. The next story we're going to talk about is the starting lineups for the Cup Series, Xfinity Series, and Truck Series races for this weekend here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Now, the Truck Series and Xfinity Series is going to have a doubleheader. I think the Truck Series race is at 1:30 Eastern, and the NASCAR Xfinity at 1:30 Eastern or 2:30 Eastern, and then the NASCAR Xfinity Series is going to take place at 5 p.m. Eastern, so about a half an hour after the NASCAR Truck Series is concluded. Starting on the pole for the NASCAR Truck Series is going to be John Nemechek, who won last week at Las Vegas, and Kyle Busch will start second. My pick to win the truck race is Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch has been really, really good in the Truck Series. He would have arguably had a really good shot at winning a race, but John Nemechek beat him up heads up. I think John Hunter will definitely be a favorite this weekend at Atlanta Motor Speedway. He actually does have a win here at Atlanta Motor Speedway back in 2016 when he competed for the first time, full-time, in the NASCAR Truck Series. So keep an eye on John Nemechek and Kyle Busch as being the favorites. And also keep an eye on Austin Hill as well. He was really, really good here last year as well. Now we go to the Xfinity Series. Austin Cindric is going to start on the pole for this weekend's race at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Austin Cindric won last weekend's race at Phoenix International Speedway. My pick going into this event, though, is going to be A.J. Allmendinger because A.J. Allmendinger won the last time we were here at Atlanta Motor Speedway in pretty dominating fashion as well. He was really, really fast here, and he won the last time on a mile and a half, which was at Las Vegas. So I would not count A.J. Allmendinger winning, and I think he will be the winner at Atlanta Motor Speedway for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. And then we jump up to the Cup Series, which will go on over on the channel really, really soon. But starting on the pole for the Cup Series race is going to be Denny Hamlin. My pick to win is Kevin Harvick for this race. I think he's starting like 5th or 6th in the event. Can't remember exactly where he's starting in the race, but Kevin Harvick is my pick to win the race. But Denny Hamlin, I think he's been on the pole for this year. He actually was supposed to start on the pole at Homestead, but he had to go to the rear because he had some unapproved adjustments that they had to do before the race dropped because NASCAR maybe they changed something that they did not like and they had to go to rear because and Hamlin really never was able to contend really throughout the race until the end of stage 2. But my pick, like I said, to win the Cup Series race at Atlanta Motor Speedway is going to be Kevin Harvick because he has won the last, I think he won in 2017 and 2020, and I think that this year time, at 2018, 2020, and this time around, he's been so good last 6 years, I think he will get his 2nd straight win and 3rd win in the last 4 races here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And now we're going to jump on to the next story of today's episode, as we're going to go ahead and talk about Ryan Ellis, as he is going to be racing in the Truck Series race in Atlanta, the Freight 8 Auctions 200 at Atlanta Motor Speedway, and driving the number 34 truck for the Raymond Brothers Racing Organization, with Overton's a Women's History Month as a major sponsor for Ryan Ellis. I've been really high on Ryan Ellis. I think Ryan Ellis is a very, very good driver. He gets the best out of his equipment. We've seen how good he is on road courses, and he's been able to perform the best of his abilities. I've seen him be able to get top 15s, and even sometimes top 10s, top 15s, and not the best equipment. And I think even though this is a Raymond Brothers truck, I think he has a really good shot at getting a top 25 with this organization because I think while, yes, equipment does matter a lot, I think talent does matter a lot more. And I am a really, really huge fan of Ryan Ellis. And I'm very, very happy because I've been really wanting this guy to get right. I really thought this year, because he was a team man, like working with social media marketing manager, I think, for Go Fast Racing, I really thought this year he was going to run for that team, but it doesn't really even look like Go Fast Racing is going to be racing all this year, even though there's potential they're going to be racing in Bristol Dirt. That might be something you have to keep an eye on here really, really soon. But I am really happy that Ryan Ellis has got it right because, like I said, I really like him a lot, and I think he'll do a really good job racing this weekend. I know it's Raymond Brothers, but I am so happy that Ryan Ellis is going to be racing this weekend, and it's really, really cool to see him racing this weekend again. Hopefully he's able to get a good run and get that team enough owners points to make sure they're locked into the upcoming events. And now we're going to go ahead and jump on to the next story of today's episode, as we're going to go ahead and talk about Ryan Newman, as he is going to be competing in the Bristol Dirt Truck Series event in the number 39 for Brad Means Racing. The sponsor he's going to have is Coca-Cola, because he's part of the Coca-Cola Racing family, and Aggressive Hydraulics as main sponsors for this event. Now, Ryan Newman is going to have to qualify in this event because this team does not have enough owners points going in the event. Now, for those of you who do not know who Brad Means is, Brad Means is the son of Jimmy Means, one of my favorite car owners out there, and a guy I've had a lot of respect for, and someone who does the best he can with the equipment he has. Ryan Newman, man, the fact that he is going to be running and another driver from the Cup Series that is jumping out. It had been rumored since last night during the Dale Jr. Down that he was going to run this event, and he confirmed it today during testing a modified for the Martinsville race that they're going to have for the modifieds. He confirmed today, talking about Podcast, that he's going to be running this event. Ryan Newman is a very, very good dirt racer, someone that is very, very underrated when it comes to dirt racing. He's ran many, many Chili Bowls in his time. He's won quite a few dirt races, and he's been a contender in many, many dirt races. And remember, 2013, Ryan Newman competed in the Truck Series event in the first time they ran there, and he actually ended up almost winning and getting a top 5, I think, in that event for the Turner Motorsports organization in the Truck Series. So he is a really good dirt racer. To me, I don't know how Ryan Newman, of course, like I said, is going to have to qualify in this event, but to me, I think if Ryan Newman can make it in this event, I think he has a really good shot for a top 20 or top 25. I don't think he's going to win this event because I don't know how much good the equipment is truly going to be. But I really am happy that Ryan Newman is running this event, and hopefully he's able to qualify him, because another Cup Series star running this event is really, really awesome. Hopefully he is able to perform well and do great in the NASCAR Truck Series event at Bristol Dirt. And now we're going to go ahead and jump on to the next story of today's episode, as we're going to talk about Stewart Friesen, as Stewart Friesen is going to be making his NASCAR Cup Series debut at the Bristol Dirt Race in the number 77 for Spire Motorsports. This is really, really awesome, and I'm not 100% surprised that Stewart Friesen is going to be running the Cup Series race for Bristol Dirt. Stewart Friesen is a guy who has a lot of dirt experience, and he's won a lot of dirt races in Canada and up in New York as well in the UMP modified cars. So he has a lot of experience in dirt, and someone who is very, very good as well. Halmer will be the major sponsor on the car, by the way. I'm really happy about this. Stewart Friesen's a guy that really deserves an opportunity in Cup. I think he's done really well in trucks. I know 2020 was not very good for him driving for the 52 car, but again, that was when KBM was really, really down and they were not very fast and they were getting their stuff. They've shown some speed this year so far, and I think that he has a really good shot at winning the Bristol Dirt Truck Series event because you're going to have a lot of dirt experience to go out there and run up front. As for Stewart Friesen going to Cup, man, it's definitely intriguing because I did not think the Spire Motorsports is where he was going to end up going to. I thought he was going to go to the 96 car for Gomber's Racing, but there's been rumors that Ty Dillon is going to run the 96 car and he's going to come back to Bristol. He's even said he's going to run Bristol Dirt, and Bob Vine has been saying that it's likely that Ty Dillon will be running with Gomber's, which is supposed to be probably announced really, really soon, because Ty Dillon has a lot of experience on the Bristol Dirt track. So I think he has a really good shot overall in that to get into that event. Regarding Stewart Friesen, man, it is surprising because he's going to drive for Chevy organization, but he doesn't have manufacturer backing. Now, it's something really different, something really, really different, that Stewart Friesen is getting this opportunity. Now, even though I think that he is running in not as good of a car, I think he can get the best out of his equipment, though. I will say the Spire cars have definitely shown a little bit more speed this year compared to last year. Instead of being like a 35th place team at best, they've been running more consistently in the top 30 and in the top 25 at times before joining. At times in the top 20, they've just had a lot of mechanical problems. And Justin Haley's also, who's been driving a car quite a bit this year with Spire Motorsports, has been competing really, really well with that organization. So to me, I think the goal for him is to try to see if he can get a top 25. I think, yes, equipment is going to matter, but I also think you are going to have a lot of dirt experience to be contending for these races. We've seen a lot of Cup guys that are running the Bristol Truck Race or running the Bristol Dirt Nationals that's taking place over this week. That's actually taking place as right now as I'm currently speaking. So that's something we're going to have to watch. But yeah, I'm really happy that Stewart Friesen is getting an opportunity and hope he's able to perform well and give that car a run for his money in the Bristol Dirt Cup Series event. And now we're going to go ahead and jump on to the final story of today's episode. As it was announced today that Kyle Larson is going to be running the Bristol Dirt Truck Series race, the Penny's Dirt Truck Series event, in the number 44 truck for Nice Motorsports this upcoming and next weekend at Bristol Dirt. I really, to be honest with you, I thought it was going to be Ross Chastain. He was in his car because Ross Chastain has been saying that he's going to be driving this event. But I was wrong. I thought it was going to be Ross Chastain, but it's confirmed today that Kyle Larson is going to run this event. And let me just say this for the record. I am really, really excited about this because Kyle Larson is arguably the best dirt driver that is in NASCAR right now. He's won the last 2 straight Chili Bowls and has been really good to start out this year in the NASCAR Cup Series, scoring 1 victory so far at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Kyle Larson, man, running the Truck Series event. He's already getting a little more experience. Well, I mean, this is just like extra last for Kyle Larson because Kyle Larson is one of the favorites. In fact, I think he is currently the favorite going this event because of how much dirt experience he has. I don't think he's going to ultimately dominate the race. I think he's going to have competition from guys like Christopher Bell, and I think we'll see a rematch at the Chili Bowl between Christopher Bell and Kyle Larson in the Cup Series. But man, I am really happy that Kyle Larson's getting experience, and while I don't think the Nice Motorsports trucks are generally overall the fastest organization, they're not as good as they used to be with the GMS teams, I think they have enough speed that Kyle Larson could contend for the win. I really think Kyle Larson has got a really good shot to win the Bristol Dirt Truck Series race. I really, really do. Because he's a guy that's won. I mean, he won Eldora, I think, in 2016, so he knows how to get it done on the dirt. He's won in truck races at dirt before. Now, he said he's not going to run Knoxville, but he's a guy that's won a lot of dirt races before. He knows what he's doing in the truck. And to me, I think he has a really good shot of winning. Sponsors have not been announced this time, but I've been hearing behind the scenes that there are some sponsors that could be announced really, really soon that are really, really exciting. So keep an eye on that as well. But man, I am so happy that Kyle Larson is going to run this Bristol Truck Series event. Just the star power, man, that's running this event. You have a lot of drivers that are running the Bristol Nationals. You have the Bristol Nationals. You have Corey LaJoie, Austin Dillon, Matt Crafton, Chris Buescher, Joey Logano, Chase Elliott, Larson himself, Kyle Busch. The list just goes on and on. And in the Truck Series event, you have Kevin Harvick competing the 17 for DGR Crossley. You have Chase Briscoe competing the 04. You have Ryan Newman in the 39. And you also have Kyle Larson in the 44. And maybe more to come very, very soon that we haven't even heard about yet. There are so many drivers that are going out there and trying to get experience. And they're trying to learn how to run in this truck to make sure they have enough experience going into this event. And I think it's very, very important. Kyle Larson right now can just sit out because could sit out and not run his event. But no, he's going out there. He's putting into work. It's just extra laster. It's like Chase Elliott running a roller coaster. I think Kyle Larson overall has a really good shot of winning the Bristol Truck Series event. And I'm very, very happy that Kyle Larson is going to be running this event next week on Saturday evening. I think it's either going to be a disaster of a race in an entertaining way, or it's going to be a disaster of a race and it's going to be really, really boring, and someone is going to dominate the race overall in the Truck Series. And it's probably going to be a wreckfest in trucks because, let's be honest, a lot of these guys don't have a lot of experience. And we've seen some of the race at Eldora in the Truck Series. So we've seen some of the race in dirt models as well, and there's been some big, big wrecks as well. Some big, big flips. So, yeah, I'm definitely intrigued to see how the race goes, but I'm very, very happy that Kyle Larson is running the Bristol Dirt Truck Series event. So, anyway, that is going to be for today's NASCAR news video. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe to the channel, notifications so you give me notified when a video does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Links description below for that, and support me on Patreon as well. Links description below for that, and comment your thoughts on today's video. What are your thoughts about more Cup Series stars like Ryan Newman and Kyle Larson racing the Bristol Dirt Truck Series event? Let me know in the comments below. And what are your thoughts about Stewart Friesen making his NASCAR Cup Series debut here at the Bristol Dirt Cup Series event? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you like this YouTube. Can't recommend more of these great videos out to you guys. Do that, I would greatly and truly appreciate it. Anyway, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys next time for more great content. Take care, everybody.